Guys, the YouTube streets have been hot with the Passport Bros conversation. And I believe I kind of got it started when I got a hold of Austin Holloman's video on TikTok. I believe a subscriber sent it to me about 2 weeks ago. And since I've been reviewing his content and some of the things he's had to say, many people have gotten into the conversation. I've seen Melanie King talking about it. I've seen a lot of people talking about it. But recently I saw a fellow YouTube buddy of mine, Anton Daniels, talking about it also. So I decided to check out his stream and check him out. Anton Daniels, he has about 70,000 subscribers. And he had a stream with Island Girl Q. And the name of the stream was Passport Bros, Men Going Overseas for Women Because They Have No Game or Women Are More Submissive. So I thought it was pretty interesting. I listened to a little bit of the early part of the stream. It was about 5 hours, but I'll play a little snippet between the interaction between Anton and his host. And I'll kind of come back and we'll talk a little bit more in detail about why this is important.
Been a lot of conversations going on in the streets. And in a larger sense, there's a conversation based off of the idea of, and I think the narrative, and I'm going to drop the link in the chat earlier than usual. I think the narrative, matter of fact, I'm going to drop the link in the chat now because I want to hear what everybody else's perspective is because, you know, I have my own perspective, right? I think the narrative is guys that is always going overseas don't necessarily have game. And then the guys that's going overseas are saying that we shouldn't have to have game in order to get women. And so I pulled up a video that I had seen a long time ago. I had to search for this mug. And it was one of the things that colored my opinion to a larger extent, which is one of the reasons why I want to get people up on the panel to get their opinions. And I'm just going to be open-minded today. I'm not going to have I'm going to try not to have a hard take. I'm going to try not to have a hard stance because I'm curious as to what people's true perspective is about this whole thing with regard to Passport Bros, right? Going overseas to get women. And so I'm gonna play this video. Well, first I want to hear your perspective, Q, and then I'm gonna play the video.
I'm gonna be honest, I ain't never heard of Passport Bros since YouTube. And let's just be honest, I've been traveling since a baby and I don't understand. I mean, no, I get why when people break it down, I get why they're saying get a chick that's overseas. They're more easy to deal with. I understand that, but that's not why I travel. So the Passport Bros, they are right. You really don't need game when you go overseas because, you know, those women are throwing themselves at the men in some type of way because you know why? They want to come back to the States. So you don't.
But it seemed like when I hear guys, right? And that's one of the problems for me. Because when I hear guys, a lot of times they say, hey, we want to take care of women, but we don't want to be used. Like you don't want to be looked at as a trick. You don't want to be looked at as a simp. But for some reason, it seems as though, and again, I don't know because I've never done the Passport Bros thing, right? I've never been interested in it. It seems as though they would understand that these women are using them, right? I mean, they're looking at them as a lick. They're not looking at them because they're like, oh man, this guy is so awesome. He's dope. You know, they're looking, and this is just my perspective before getting other people's opinions. It seems like they would look at them as a trick. And so instead of like being focused on yourself, it's like to be focused on women is a zero-sum game for me.
So as a come up, so these out country women are looking at these men as a come up, right?
I'm gonna play this video, and then this is a girl that came.
Don't American women do the same thing too?
But it's different though.
All right, so a lot happened there, but I'll try to kind of sum it up into two main points. The first point is that she said the lady Island Q or Island Girl Q, she said something to the point that, you know, these women are acting nice or submissive because they want to come back to the man's home country. Now, again, she is a woman, right? And I believe that everybody believes that the United States is a country that every woman wants to come to. And, you know, I've lived abroad the last 6 to 7 years. And don't get me wrong, there are people who want to come to the United States and there are people who really respect the United States. But we got to be actually honest here. A lot of women love their culture. It's the culture in which they learn their language. They have their own personal friends, and things like that. So not every woman is interested in coming back to the United States to live. Some women may want to come and visit, but then, a woman has to look at the fact she's coming to the United States. She has absolutely no family there. And if she's a woman that's from like the middle class or upper middle class, there would really be no need to go to the United States unless she was, trying to achieve something in the United States educational system or things like that. A lot of women are not necessarily begging to come to the United States. If a man really meets a woman that he knows, sure, she will do it to make the relationship work, but she'll also want him to come and spend some time in the place there. And that's something I think that's a myth, that all women want to come back to the United States because they're poor or they're broke or they're desperate. Sure, there are women who are poor and broke and desperate, but that's not always the case. I don't think that's the case half the time, at least in my honest estimation. Secondarily, Anton said something towards the end of that clip, and he said something to the point that, well, aren't these guys being played? And she said something to the effect that, well, I mean, women are, asking for the same thing here, right? And he was like, well, it's different. And I'm trying to understand, how is it different? Maybe he would be able to explain it. Maybe I just didn't catch it. But it seems to me that anywhere in the world that you go, women are going to require you to do X, Y, and Z for them, right? I just think that the women that live abroad might be doing it at a much lower rate or less expensive. But he was saying, like, listen, well, you guys should deal with the people who want to deal with you, not based on money. And I get what he's trying to say. He talked about the word network and stuff like that. I kind of get that. But, people are going to gravitate more to where they are wanted. Every man is not going to be like an overachiever. It would be great if men were overachievers. For example, like me, I personally feel like I'm an overachiever. I mean, that's kind of how I've always been. I work extremely hard. I try to always take my stuff to the next level. But every guy is not a person like me, right? Or a person who wants to be a millionaire or a billionaire, or a person who wants to build a big business or to be, exceptional or something. That's not every guy. You have guys who are just okay with, being and working an average life, having quality time with their family and things like that. And they want a relationship. They want a family. So these are the kind of guys that we're really talking about. I think that the guys who are overachievers and they're gonna, find a way to make it work anywhere, that might be some guys, but every guy is not like that. Some guys are looking for, where can I do my best investment at, right? And I think that the kind of idea is that these guys are getting played overseas, when I believe that it is clear that these guys are getting played in the United States also. Wherever there are women at, you run the risk of getting played. That's just what the reality is. I think the fundamental question becomes for most men is, where is the best bang for the buck if I'm going to get played? I mean, if I get played, I want to at least not lose like half the money that I've worked for, my pension, things like that. So if I get played by somebody overseas, I mean, it's cool. I spent some cash on all that stuff. And, as long as I didn't marry him and bring him here, it's still good. I could try again. Whereas here, I might not be able to get the same kind of quality of a good looking woman. I might not have a woman that's interested in being in a relationship. If you're talking about the black community, sure, we got to look at the fact that a lot of black women in the black America grew up under single parent households. So there might be an issue there for power struggles in a relationship. But all in all, I think that Anton and her made some pretty good strong points within that interaction. I think you guys should go and check out the whole entire video. What do you guys think though? Are brothers in the passport community, are they getting used by foreign women? Let me know in the comment section. Peace out.